if I were working in some other fields, I am sick of my job. I don't like what I'm doing every day. I heard working at a tech company to be really cool, cutting edge, and I want to bring in. Is your success replicable? And if so, do you have a plan for them?
To be honest, like, one of the things that helped me to transition was the domain knowledge. I think one of the things that people miss in machine learning is how much important the domain knowledge is. As a software engineer in pricing, the domain knowledge that I built led to my transition there, and I knew that, okay, what pricing is, how does price prediction works, what's price demand of elasticity. So that domain knowledge I couldn't have earned anywhere. So if you have domain knowledge that no one else has, like a person who is coming out of a computer science degree, why not take advantage of it? I feel like getting a computer science degree is the easier part than the domain knowledge part, because that takes time. So the things that I would suggest is, of course, learning coding, but there are like a lot of resources out there nowadays. Like you can take classes on like basic things like Java, Python, start with that, and then start like learning about like information about your domain knowledge, like what are the problems that they are facing. Build a network of people who are working in, let's say, software engineering or machine learning in healthcare. So find people who are doing that, see what they are doing, go forward from there. So like now you know coding, you know people who are doing this, you know what they are doing, then you can like iteratively build upon that. Like I was like a software engineer in pricing. Eventually I wanted to work in search. I was like, okay, like right now I've already built all this domain knowledge. Why, like it would be easier to transition to a machine learning engineer and then use those skills to move to search team within Amazon, and then use those skills to come to Facebook. Finally, you have to iteratively build upon it. There's no long jump that you can make easily.
So here the bridges are, if you want to look at it, the first bridge was software engineering. You used that to join, and then you used domain bridge and you went into machine learning, and then you use the same company bridge, because in the same company you can shift easier than suddenly into another place. Use that to get into search, and then you have search domain and also MLE knowledge, and use that to jump into
Yeah.
another place.
In your blog, you had mentioned you had an opportunity to be promoted, but you delayed it. I think that's a pretty related story to what we just talked about. Can you tell the audience about that story?
So, like when I joined as a software engineer, I knew that I wanted to get into machine learning. Like I also knew that if I have to demand something, I need to make sure that I am good at my current job first. Because like if you're not good at your current job first, then whatever you'll say, like you're not doing the work that you are supposed to do right now, then why should I give you more work, right? So I wanted to make sure that I'm good at it. I was a good software engineer. Like I had the opportunity to grow very fast. My manager was very supportive of that. If I want to get into senior software engineer quickly, I had the option to go within 4 years, which would have made a big difference, because 2 jumps is a significant salary boost, significant influence boost. You can take more responsibilities, bigger role in the organization. But I also knew, and I had a very hard conversation about this with my manager at the time. He was like, "You are a good software engineer. Why you are not just want to grow and climb the ladder?" And I was like, it's just something that I want to work in. I want to try it. I know that I'm going to regret. I can always become a senior software engineer later on if I want. I know that 2 years of more salary or more bigger role of 2 years are not going to make a difference in career of like 30 years. So I was like, okay, basically try it now. It would be very hard if I become a senior software engineer to then transition to a senior machine learning engineer, because of course the role demands more stuff from you. So the expectation grows as you become senior. So that jump will be bigger for me than, like, let's say if I stay at a junior or an entry level position now, make that jump and then grow there. It took projects that were more in line with working on machine learning, even though I knew that they are not bigger scope projects, which would have gotten me to senior software engineer. I intentionally denied those projects and took projects that were like, even if it was like smaller projects in nature, but which were helping me to transition to machine learning engineer within that team.